Okay, I think we're live. Hopefully it's the end of the technical difficulties that we had before this. 2 minutes before we pressed the go button, Jesse's nice microphone decided to just have a fit, and I just got static and nearly blew out my eardrums as well. So we've been here trying to. Well, I've been watching Jesse try to find cables and things behind the scenes here. So there's the. Yeah, hopefully it's just the Scarlett and not the microphone. Anyway, let's hope for that.
Yeah. So I apologize for this terrible mic audio. It's just going through my headset. So yeah, I've got a nice microphone and a Scarlett Focusrite Scarlett, and I don't know. Hopefully it's just a Scarlett. So
yeah,
I'll have to deal with it later today.
Mine I was plugging it out from my laptop into my desktop, and it just stopped working forever then. And now I do not plug it out from one thing anymore, just out of fear of that happening again. So yeah, it's nice and fun.
Yeah, it's always fun. Always fun. Makes your day even more hectic.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind. We were just saying before the stream as well that we're really busy day. It's been mental. And then I thought the crackling was your water bottle. So I was like, maybe it's just a water bottle. And then you put it down and it just went. I was like, no, water doesn't sound like that. I'm no water expert.
Right.
But Jesse, cheers for coming on. And I'm glad I could make your day a little bit more chaotic as well.
Thanks for having me. Anytime. I love the chaos.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you've popped into a couple of my streams before. You've seen that it's usually chaos. So I think it's suitable that something goes a bit haywire. Usually it's my end. So fingers crossed that's the end of it now.
Gotcha. Yep. Yeah, I hope so. We'll deal with whatever comes up.
Absolutely.
What have you got there?
What have I got?
Yeah.
I am being. I didn't even want to show it. This is embarrassing because.
Oh, sorry.
This is a fancy. I was doing it quietly, but I always show a weird looking artsy non-alcoholic beer. So
nice.
Yeah, let's figure out how this is, because it's Thursday and I still have like deployments and things to do. I said I will drink a non-alcoholic beer. Just to have a taste of it, a flavor of freedom.
I don't know if I've ever had a non-alcoholic beer, honestly.
I have a joke that's definitely not suitable for YouTube about it, and I'm not going to get into it now because that will just be instantly cut off. We can talk about that afterwards.
Right. We'll leave that for after.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And Dennis saying, drink it on the job. I guess, yeah. Does this count? Would you? And that's a question I wonder. Would you get if you are driving with one of these?
There's no alcohol. You're fine.
Imagine convincing that to the police officer, or whoever you are. It's like for wasting their time going around with cans of non-alcoholic beer just so they pull you over.
It says it right there, non-alcoholic.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a tangent and a half that I wasn't expecting. Yeah. So hopefully people don't judge me too much about this. But it says no worries. It's artsy. Yeah. It's artsy enough. It's fancy. I always go for the craft beers. And the other thing is I'm usually on Irish beers. Where's this one from? I have no idea. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. I actually wanted to give you a grilling, Jesse. So let's ask you some embarrassing questions now, since I'm already on the back foot. What is your social security number? No. No, what I wanted to really jump in was you've had probably one of the most explosive growths of any of the YouTubers we've seen, really, in our circle of, I guess, what we do, web development YouTubers. We all kind of talk, and I think a couple of people have asked me over the last stream, like, how was I talking to Kevin, or how did we meet? And like, we have a little community where we're always like, what is the most clickbaity way we can make interesting things? Of course. But you especially have been doing it a little shorter than most of the accounts that are a similar size to you. So I'm just kind of wondering, like, did you consciously go out and do something very different, or was it because you like the quality of your content was just excellent and you didn't go for the crazy, here's my face everywhere? You just went for, here's the screencast, here's the content, and it was really solid. And it just seemed to just steamroll because you were doing it twice a week for, what is it, about a year and a half now, 2 years?
It's been almost 2 years. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I don't know. I don't have any secrets or anything. I just consistency, just basically sharing my knowledge, just creating content that I enjoy to create, on topics that I enjoy, stuff that I know about. That was it. Just staying consistent. Um, I don't know. I mean, I didn't pay all of my subscribers to subscribe to me. They just did, and I don't know why.
Just half.
Yeah, just half.
And was there anything like, for me, I know it was starting COVID when I decided to jump on it because I was doing meetups and things. Was there something that gave you a kick to get into this where you like bored at work? Or was it a case of you just wanted an outlet to learn new things? Because I know it's a fun thing to create content around stuff that you're messing with because it gives you like an output of something that you want to do with this thing that's random. Like there's a lot of things you get to do on YouTube tutorials that you don't get to put into an enterprise production app or wherever you're working. So I'm just wondering what kind of drove you into it as well.
Yeah, so I got started pre-COVID, so it wasn't because of that, but it was because I was trying to challenge my kids to do something, and they, they're just like playing video games and on their phones all day. And I tried to get them to create YouTube channels, and that didn't really work out. And so I decided to create a YouTube channel without telling any of my family. And before that, I've always liked to dabble in video creation. I just enjoyed the creativity of video. And so, I created the channel and it started doing well. I just kept doing it, and I don't know why it was successful, but so I just did it as a hobby, just to prove a point to my kids that you could do anything you put your mind to. And then also just because I thought it was fun. So.
Nice. And do they have channels now? Have they decided that it was a good idea because they seem, or are they just more embarrassed because their YouTuber dad now is like, everyone knows them instead? You just need to play Minecraft now or something.
Right. Yeah, maybe I should do a Minecraft stream with my kids. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, that might get them into it as well. Interesting. What a bizarre reason as well. I'll show you, but it's always something that give you a kick.
Yeah, I mean, 2 years ago, if you would have said that I'll be on live streams and podcasts and writing blog articles and YouTube videos and all this stuff, like I would think you were crazy. It's just not what I was doing. I've just been a dev before that, just head down, typing code out. So.
And what was your specialty before YouTube? I guess you're JavaScript heavy like myself now, but were you JavaScript heavy on the job?
Yeah. So a lot of JavaScript, also some .NET. The company that I worked for was very Microsoft heavy. So .NET, SQL, and but then we started using JavaScript. So then we moved over to Node.js in the back end and using React on the front end, stuff like that.
Sweet. And any frameworks on the back end, Express, or is it? Did you do anything crazy?
No, nothing crazy. It was just mostly Express. Yeah.
Because I've been recently, and I'm thinking of doing a lot more work on it when I have a bit more free time to do about my microservices in Node, because I've been playing around with a lot of that, and it's like, how do I make this interesting? This is such a hefty topic. So, but it's such a great, it's so cool to see how far it is as well, because you're a veteran developer as well. So you've been playing with plenty of languages. I'm sure it wasn't just C# and JavaScript for 3 years as well. Not to age shame you or anything, Jesse.
Well, the first language, let's see, I'm pretty sure Basic was the first language that I learned, and so that's the most basic you can get almost. So,
yeah.
Back in high school, there were 3 computers at the high school, and they all ran DOS. the large floppy disks, you know, the big ones. So
I wouldn't know.
yeah, not the, you know,
So,
it went from the big ones to the little ones. Yeah,
yeah, the first computer I ever used had the normal floppy disks. Now, in
the
fairness,
small ones.
so
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, so that was the first computer I had at my parents' house, and I just used to play Paint on it.
Mhm.
That was as sophisticated as I got through computers when I was growing up.
Yeah. My older brother, he had a Tandy 1000. And so I remember when I was younger sneaking into his room when he was at work and playing with it and trying to make sure he didn't know that I got in there. And he would always know that I was in there, so I'd get in trouble.
Yeah, brothers always know these things as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's a weird sixth sense that we have, especially if it means you get to beat each other for something. It's like
Hmm.
you're just going to have. I think it's a. Have you ever seen the film Step Brothers? One of my favorite movies ever.
No. Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. Hmm.
yeah, so I love that with the drumsticks and
Hmm.
the perfect thing. My mom hated that movie until I moved out because she was seriously concerned that that was going to be myself and my brother.
Hmm.
So now she can
Awesome.
laugh at it.
Yep.
But yeah, because we would have been very similar. But yeah, it set you on a way different trajectory, I guess, even since we were
Yeah.
speaking originally. Like, I guess we've been talking nearly kind of through Discord or whatever about a year, I would say, at this stage.
Yeah. At
And
least.
it the it's funny because like I've kind of heard the whisperings of you asking questions and everyone else asking questions and being part of the conversations where you're like, hey, maybe I'll do something myself, maybe I'll go try courses, and now you've just recently decided, hey, actually, I'll get a dev advocate role with MongoDB.
Hmm.
So that is really cool as well. And we can talk about how I nearly broke the news before you knew as well.
Well, you're the one that pretty much got me the job, so.
I wouldn't say that. I literally, my partner, for anyone who doesn't know, is a technical recruiter for MongoDB. And she had literally just said, do you know anyone that would be good for this thing? And I said, I think I have a person that would be good for this. And I didn't get any commission, nothing.
Oh wow.
So nothing. I get absolutely nothing.
We'll have
So
to see. Let's see if we can get you something. We'll send you a
I
shirt
just
or
want some
something.
swag. Yeah, just some swag. I have my favorite mug. I have a lovely MongoDB Atlas, I think, mug, and it's really good.
Mm,
Wait, the swag packs are excellent. I'm
mm,
forever like whenever swag comes here, I'm stealing it all the time. So
awesome.
they have some epic stuff. But is there any reason you decided, uh, dev advocate for a
Yeah,
change of pace, or was it just to kind of flex those new skills that you've kind of been exercising for the last couple of years?
yeah, yeah. So I mean, like I said, I was just I was a developer. I don't want to say just a developer. I was a developer before, and didn't really know anything about developer advocacy. I didn't even know that was a thing, right? So then started this YouTube channel, and it really, like you said, changed my trajectory completely, because I found out that I like doing this stuff. I like speaking, and I like creating videos and blog articles, and being a developer advocate. So that's kind of what I've been doing for 2 years without the title. And so it kind of made sense to just become a developer advocate for a company. And when I was doing, searching for jobs, I wanted to interview at companies that I would use in my projects, right? And so MongoDB is one of those companies. And so I was happy to have that connection that you recommended, and being hired by them. It's been awesome so far. I've loved it.
Nice. Yeah, and I'm interested to see how you get on with it as well, because you've built quite a large reach for yourself. So it's going to be interesting to be able to use your own platform and the MongoDB platform, and as well as just see like give you some structure around some content to build as well, because
Yeah.
it's a JavaScript ecosystem as well. You're really
Mm.
embedded in there. Like MongoDB has, like I still always use it. It's my go-to database because I'm usually too lazy to draw a solid schema straight away. So
Mhm.
I just start hacking with MongoDB. Probably not what you're supposed to do either, but it works and
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. No, I think so. Um, yeah, yeah. So I'm excited to, like you said, expand and help them to expand their platform, create content for them. So you'll be seeing some videos from me on the MongoDB YouTube channel. So be sure to check that out, as well as other content, other means, articles, speaking engagements, stuff like that.
Nice. I was saying to you before that I'd love to get you to do one of the workshops sometime, because I do the more longer form workshops, and they're always good because you get into a meaty thing. I don't tend to do like the usual 30-minute talk that gives no content. It's like, let's build something in 2 hours and see what happens. So I definitely, when you're settled in, I will annoy you again for that.
Yeah, you want people to feel productive after they've finished your workshop, right? Like they've actually accomplished something.
Yeah, and I think that's the issue with most kind of talks. It's usually like, here's 10 minutes of content and 20 minutes of marketing.
Right.
And then people are just like, this is boring because I know who this company is already. Especially with somebody as powerful as MongoDB, I think the only way you can really leverage it is by making valuable content.
Yeah, I think that's the thing maybe that sets me apart from others possibly, is that I don't put a lot of, like, I'm not by nature a very talkative person. And so I don't put a lot of fluff in my videos. It's always to the point. Here's what I'm going to tell you, and here's what I'm going to show you, and let's just do it. So
but that's probably what sets you apart, because like I've even, especially when I was early on making videos, I did put a little bit of, like, I slowed things down too much and I couldn't get the pacing right. I'm still struggling with pacing, or not knowing, or like trying to inject a sense of humor into some educational content, which I was like, there's absolutely no point. They don't care. Nobody cares. They just want to learn this thing.
I cared. I liked it. I thought your videos were great. I got it.
Yeah, but like I know for like I've gotten a couple of comments where it's just like, this could have been done in 3 minutes instead of 13. Like probably, and that's when, you know, it's trying to find the right balance. But you definitely have gotten, and I guess that's why your videos are so successful and constantly picking up, because even your oldest videos are still, I'm sure, getting hit and just picking up as the YouTube engine understands that people love it.
Yeah, actually the very first video ever has been my best video ever. It's funny because it's yeah, I cringe every time I have to watch it, or it pops up and I look at it, and looking back, like, oh, I had terrible equipment to record with, and it was just not great. But it's still the most popular video on my channel. So.
I have the exact same on my one at the moment, and because like I'm literally like a robot, and I just like I only get past the first 5 seconds of it because it's me on camera just going, "Hello YouTube," like a robot, you know, because like you're all. I was so scared of the camera when you start. You do. It's so embarrassing to even hear your voice, or like be staring at the camera like you're having a conversation. It takes a while before, I guess, you're schizophrenic enough to accept that the camera is another person in the room with you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then hearing yourself back when you're editing, and yeah, that's like, I have to listen to myself talk and like, do all the editing. At first, I've gotten used to it, but at first it's a bit awkward, weird.
Yeah. Because it is something everyone says, that you hate hearing your own voice when it's recorded. And now it's weird where like I'm used to my own voice, which I never thought would be the case either. But it's very cool to see the type of content, because I see a lot of people nearly put too much emphasis on the face and expressions and everything, especially because a lot of people think YouTube, they think that's what you have to be. But then with this kind of content, you can just record your screen and talk over it.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't put my face on the screen until I don't know, 8 months into it. I mean, I put out a lot of videos before I ever put face on the screen, so you don't have to.
Because I think I started watching your videos around like a few weeks before it was like you did a video to show. You know, CodeSTACKr revealed. You know, you did the revealing video, like an unboxing of your face.
Right. Yeah, I thought that would get some views, and it actually didn't. So, nobody cared.
Yeah.
Nobody cared.
Go back to JavaScript.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's the other thing is you get humbled by little things like that as well when you realize that yeah, it is the content. It's not me after all.
Yeah. I mean, there's people like the Net Ninja. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen his face. So I know his name's Sean. So,
yeah, and I only know
I
that
mean,
because of Discord as well that he's Sean.
right.
I wouldn't have known that, but his voice is forever in my brain now because he's done so many of those intros and everything that I just know his content as well. It's funny how because I think I see it a lot as well. A lot of people will say, "Oh, I don't have a good enough camera to do it," or "I don't have enough whatever to do it." When in reality, you just don't need that much. Most of the software, I don't know. Do you use OBS?
Yeah, all you need is OBS and a headset for just cheap headset from your phones or what like earbuds, right? I mean, that'll do. That'll do, just to get started. So.
Yeah, nice. Oh, Francesco has tipped me as well. It's two of his favorites. I bet you say that to all the girls.
Yeah.
Excellent. And then how long were you creating content before you decided to make a course? Or was it because there was so much interest in, say, VS Code? Because I know like that's always really like your highest hitting stuff. Yeah. Was it because of the interest that you decided, this might be a smart avenue to take? Or what were you already thinking, let's do this? Or was it just something you wanted to try and do? Just like the YouTube thing where it's like, hey, I wonder what it's like to make a course.
Yeah. No, I think that it's always been like part of my game plan is create an audience and then create products. And so that's just, the logical choice for me. I don't know why. I mean, VS Code is just a popular topic. Anytime I create a video on VS Code, it does very well. And so I wanted to create, or I still want to create a, several courses. And so I thought, let's start at the very, very beginning, like even before the beginning. First thing that you need is a code editor. You need to understand how to use it, right? So I created the VS Code course to not only for beginners to just get started, get up and running, but also for intermediate to advanced developers to learn how to use it better. And so that was the inspiration for that. I still plan on more courses, so just going again along the lines of the basics. So HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Next.js. I'll just keep building upon the course platform as I have time. Nice. which is very scarce these days.
And a question there from Francesco as well. Crash course or series, which one works better for you?
Crash course. Yeah. Generally a series, the first one will get quite a few views and then hardly any on the ones after that.
Yeah, I've been dying to try do a crash course. It's just the time it takes to build a crash course in anything. It's just, I think people wouldn't believe unless they've gone through the effort of how much time it goes into it. And that kind of like how long did it take you to make your course then? Because usually the first ones are always hardest because you don't know what you're doing.
That's another reason that I wanted to start out with a very basic topic was because I had never done it before and I just needed to. I should have even done maybe like a mini course just to see the process because it took, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 months of, again, this is all on the side. This is not 8 hours a day, but on the side it took 3 or 4 months to get it together. But yeah, for crash courses, I mean, it's hard to even find a topic to do a crash course on now that Brad's done them all.
And Brad does them great. So like,
I mean, he already did a crash course on the Notion API. Like that came out 5 days ago.
No, you can't beat that man's work. So to be fair, we're all just cheap imposters if we try anything up to that standard. I think at that stage,
right? I feel bad even putting crash course in the title of my YouTube video because it's like he owns that title. I can't really put it in there.
Yeah, you nearly have to look for something that's really stale and old that he might not come back and do. Who knows?
Right. Right.
And even then, he'd probably release one on the same day. You're just like, oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Mhm. Yeah.
Put you in your place.
Hmm. Yep. Sure.
Yeah, I would love to try and do it, but I just haven't like the time. I just know how long it takes me to do a 20-minute video.
Well, in the crash course, like you may think that it's a long video, but it doesn't actually have to be that long. It depends on the topic, right? If you have something very basic that you want to explain in a crash course, I mean, it could be 15 minutes. There's no time frame on it.
Yeah, I guess again it's because I'm used to Traversy Media's
Mhm.
3-hour epics,
Yeah. Mhm.
where I'm like, how do you do this? And it comes
Might
off
as well.
seamless.
You should have just sold a course.
Yeah, exactly. No, and I had the same with. I was talking to Kevin last week, and I asked him about his course, and he said the biggest mistake he made with his first course was it was too big, and it took him way too long. Where he should have started smaller, and now he does much smaller courses that he can kind of write the content for and record all within a month. So it's like a 4-hour course then, which just sounded really sensible. Because I think even myself, and I think maybe it's like you're so keen to impress people and give people value that you are automatically thinking hours equals value, when really, as your videos do, it's to the point. And that's what sells, because people just want to get this knowledge until like Elon Musk can inject our thoughts straight into our minds through the chips. I think we're stuck with like YouTube videos.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I just lost my thought. That's what kind of day it is. Oh man.
And it's only in the afternoon, so it's like 6:30 here. I'm after finishing my day of work. I've had a hellish day of React Native. One of those days where like the specific, like iOS specific bugs popping up. No, this works great. And iOS things go out. I don't know if you've played with much React Native.
I haven't.
It's fantastic until it doesn't work, and then I hate it.
Yeah.
Like most of those native things though as well. There's just some very tricky APIs.
I just remembered what I was gonna say. All right, we should try. So James Q Quick, he did the 2-week, and several others as well, did this 2-week challenge where you come up with a product in 2 weeks. You have a specific time frame to come up with a product that will sell for like, I don't know, $9, whatever. But I think that anyone that is wanting to create a course or something like that should start with that. Just do a quick 2-week challenge. Try to create a product. Just basically, you're going through the process of creating a product and learning how to market it and sell it, and that whole process. And then you can kind of, build upon that.
Yeah, I really love that challenge, because Jay was doing that around the same time as well. He brought out a CSS book. And it's very cool, like just to see some quality things come out, because the quality is excellent then, because you have the time that you have to. You're in a group. I guess that's the nice part about having like a challenge. We should definitely try that. Even if you are going to make it a little bit, if you're trying to do the video, because that's the niche, I guess we do. You could even stretch it out to a month and just say it's a month and it's done out. Because that's definitely something we should take back to annoy people with.
30-day challenge.
30-day challenge. That'd be interesting to see. I'd be people streaming, making their courses so they can avoid making actual content for a month.
And there you go. That's a good idea.
It's the only way around it. Where else would you get the time?
Right. Yeah. I can't put 2 videos out a week plus do that.
Yeah, you'd have to stream you making the videos. That'll be very meta as well. Have you done any videos of your process yet?
No, I haven't.
No. It's interesting, because I'm sure a lot of people would be curious on like what goes into actually making these things. Because I think it's a common enough question. I get asked like, what's my equipment, or what do I do, or how do I do these things? So I've often thinking like, should I just make a blog post and list out all this stuff, and just so I can hand it to people at this stage? Because the amount of time I'm like looking through my Thomann account. So Thomann is like a German music company here that I use for all the sound equipment.
Oh, okay.
I'm always going into the account and like copying the list of things I bought.
Yeah. just do like a uses or uses.tech or whatever from Westboss. You just
He has that uses, does he?
yeah, uses.tech is Westboss made it. If you look it up, yeah,
I'm
you
here.
can
I'm
actually
looking at it now.
yeah, you can add yourself to there and add all your equipment and just you have a link. Like you just say, here's my link. Here's all my stuff.
That's super cool.
hmm
Wow, everyone's here.
hmm I haven't put my stuff on there yet. So
Nearly everyone then.
yeah.
That's pretty cool. Geez, this is a huge amount of people. There's hundreds.
Mhm.
625 people here. It's
Yeah.
really interesting to see there's that many content creators out there as well. I'm wondering, like, was there a bigger spike with COVID? I guess there was. There has to have been because
Well,
people
I
had
mean,
a few more hours in the day.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know that he put that together well before COVID, because again, he was getting the same questions over and over and over. You know, what are you using? And so he created, well, let's create this. And yeah, there's a lot of people, a lot of content creators. If you ever want to know what they use, just see if they're on there.
Nice. And I did promise people as well. I guess in the title, I'm streaming off is some Visual Studio Code stuff as well.
Mm.
And I have recently changed up my setup big time. Now I've changed it so my sidebar is on the right, and I've gotten the nice fonts and things, and
Mhm.
a few little details. Is there any? Look, you've gone in, I'd say, drilled into VS Code more than anyone. So I'm interested in, like, is there any like hot takes or opinionated things that you think people
Mhm.
should have set up? You can be really opinionated here, and we can just say this is the way you have to do it from now. Because
I mean, I don't know. The main thing for me is just the keyboard shortcuts. When I see someone trying to use their mouse and clicking on things in VS Code, that's kind of, I don't know, that gets to me. Like, just use a keyboard shortcut; it's so much quicker. But yeah, so just learning all the basic keyboard shortcuts, that is the main thing that is going to speed up your time. The sidebar on the right, that's not something that I have been able to get used to yet. I understand the reasoning behind it, but I guess that's just a personal preference. Other than that, um, I don't know if there's anything specific. Like all of the standard extensions, it really depends on what language framework you're working with as to which extensions you would want to install that help your day. Like if you're using Tailwind, you need a Tailwind extension. That helps you out dramatically. React, same thing. There's an extension for that. So whatever you're using, make sure you have the right extensions installed and you understand all of the keyboard shortcuts to make good use of it.
yeah, I have to say, like, just even the Command Shift L for just like grabbing everything is
Everything.
such a lifesaver for me, because I'm not,
Yeah.
I don't know all of the shortcuts, but I know the ones that I've picked, like a handful of ones that I'm
Yeah.
constantly like, when I feel myself doing something that feels icky, I'm like, there
Yeah.
is a shortcut here somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Or
Um,
if you open up the command palette and you're looking for something, you notice, oh, there's a shortcut next to it. Just try to remember that next time.
yeah.
Yeah, and then trying to think what else. Man, things are like popping into my mind and then going right back out.
It's the day that's in it. Do you have a cheat sheet with some of the most helpful things or anything?
I think I have one laying around here somewhere. So one that I use a lot that I know a lot of people maybe are not aware of, F2. Do you use F2 a lot?
No. What does F2 do?
It renames your key, a function, whatever it is, your variable, whatever. You just have the cursor on the variable F2 and it renames it everywhere.
Well, I'm here. I'm going to open up VS Code here as well. I'm just checking out some stuff. I'm about to break a project.
Yeah, just highlight a function or a variable name or whatever and hit F2, rename it. It renames it everywhere.
Okay, so here I am. Highlight. Just F2?
Yeah.
Not working. Why is it not working?
Are you using a Mac? I think it's
Yeah.
F2 on a Mac.
Let me see if it's Command F2. No. Let's find out. And I have a real keyboard. It's not like a touch bar or something. because that could easily be what's freezing. Because if you ever try to use functions on the new Macs, it's a nightmare.
Right, for sure.
I should probably be like sharing my screen as I do this, because everyone's just me looking off in the distance going, F2 doesn't work for me. That's entertainment.
Yeah, like I'm just clicking on it, F2. Like it works for me.
Was I pressing it correctly? Who knows? F2. Oh, F2 does my. How do you say it?
Have you changed any of your standard?
I'm here opening up my screens. I'm changing tabs. I'm doing everything. No, I haven't changed anything. But what it does do, because I've just noticed my screen getting brighter, is it just controls the brightness of my Mac screen.
Oh, then you have to hit function F2 then.
Okay. I will get there. Option F2 maybe? Option. I'm gonna find this out afterwards. We'll find this out. I'm gonna.
If you just open the command palette and type in rename, possibly.
No, I think I'm after freezing some stuff here. It's one of those days.
Rename, yeah. So in mine, it's rename symbol is the actual name of the function, and for me, it's bound to F2. I don't know.
Rename symbol. Excellent. I'm gonna check that out after. I'm taking a note of this. I'll crack it. I'll make a little tweet on it afterwards of like how to do. Stolen from Jesse. This is a hot take. F2.
Praveen says it works for him.
Yeah, must be Mac stuff, you know. I'm guessing it's just awkward Mac stuff.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah. But the other stuff that I use constantly is like Alt Shift down arrow up arrow, Alt up arrow down arrow. You know, so copy and move lines around all at once. Yeah, I never use the arrow keys by themselves. Like it's always with either Control or whatever to skip words at a time or lines at a time, and just stuff like that.
Just being able to say for JSX, that's always lovely to be able to just move components up and down through wherever.
Yeah. Another thing that it's not VS Code specifically related, but something that I've been excited about recently is Vite. Have you tried Vite?
No, I have not. I've seen a few people talking about it, but I haven't. This is like a new. What is it like? Because I literally have only seen the word and not even looked at it. So you'll have to explain this to me and everyone else who isn't up with the tech lingo.
Yeah, so it's created by Evan Yu, the creator of Vue, and he even has a hard time explaining exactly what it is because it's a lot of things. Basically, like if you want to create a very quick React app or just a plain vanilla JavaScript app, whatever, you could use Vite. And I did a video on it where I did a side-by-side comparison of it versus Create React App, and it just blows it out of the water. Like, so it's basically a bundler, a packaging system. It's just all kinds of stuff, all wrapped into one. It uses, I think it uses, I don't want to say the wrong one, what it uses behind the scenes. ES-Build, I know it uses ES-Build for the development environment. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I'm here looking at the package.json now. Just having a quick look through it. So vitejs.dev.
Yeah, it's pronounced Vite. It's French.
I was wondering because Vite is the name of like a hair removal cream here. I don't know if you have the same. As you can tell, I use it a lot.
I never thought about that. Yeah,
I didn't know if you were having me on. It was some joke that you were leading me into down this rabbit hole. It's like, but it's typical developer lingo that you forget about things like how to execute children or something that you type into Google. It's like, oh, wait a minute. I hope people realize that this is out of context.
Right. YouTube's gonna flag you for.
Oh yeah,
demonetize you.
yeah, for sure. Will be interesting. But yeah, so it's using what under the hood, you were saying?
I think it uses ESBuild for the development environment. So instant server start, it's just so fast. It's just so easy to get something up and running. And then let's see, what does it use? Looking.
But he is just great for developer experience. I think that's like why
Yeah.
Vue has such a huge fan base, is because it's such a pleasure to use.
So I think that this was like originally meant to be just for Vue, but it's actually not. So when you go to create a package using it, you get a choice. You get to choose between vanilla JavaScript, with or without TypeScript, React, Vue, Svelte, and another one. Can't remember the other one. Yeah, and it just creates the package, and it's just so fast. I've been using it for everything instead of create React App.
It's interesting. I've been going to the next for everything now, which is just that's been my go-to. But again, it's like I think I'll start using this. I don't like create React App anymore because it's just not flexible enough most of the time. And I tend to I'd be worried when you do tutorials in create or in Next, because people are worried about. I see a lot of people panic. They're like, what can I? How do I do this thing in Next? I'm like, it's still just React. Don't panic. And everyone's like, I'm trying to do this with get initial props. I was like, just pass a prop. Calm down.
Yeah.
So I tend to like the lighter tooling for tutorials and things always.
Yeah, no, I Next is also one of my go-tos. Like if I'm going to build a site, if I'm going to do, something real, that's what I go to. Vite is totally capable of that as well, but I've just started using it, and so that's what I've been using in all of my lighter. Like I just want to get something, just spin something up real quick and test something out. That's what I've been using Vite for. But it is very capable of production as well. I just haven't used it yet in production.
Maybe on our 30-day challenge, your Vite course coming soon.
Right. Oh, there we go. That's a good idea. Thanks.
Well, you've already started, so you've creating some content around it. It's very interesting. I'm looking here all the templates. Can you create templates for this stuff as well? Or we're going to go off on such a tangent. What a tangent here.
Whatever.
I love this stuff though. Yeah, template view. What would you be able to do this? I love all these kind of bootstrapping stuff because
it even has ability for server-side rendering.
Oh wow! So because I find that's the biggest issue with a lot of devs would have is just starting a project with all of these tooling and things. Because I know when I've gotten into companies and say a mid-level dev or whatever, somebody who's been at this for a few years, and then it's like, okay, we'll let you start a project, and they're like, but I don't know a Webpack. So, and like it's funny because I have to look up it every time I set up a new project, because although I set up projects more than most for production, like every 2-3 months, it's still not something that sticks with you because you do it for one day, and then if you set it up right, you leave it. So I love a tool like this is just like, that's it. Let's forget about it. Do it for me. It's probably done better than me, and usually, as Praveen had said, Evan has a PhD, so he's definitely much more qualified and smarter than me for building these things. So I would definitely trust him on that as well. I already have templates for everything.
And it uses ES modules by default, which means that it has zero support for IE11, which is a good thing in my opinion. Well, out of the box, it doesn't. There is a way to add on support to it, but out of the box, I think that's one reason why it's a lot quicker as well. It doesn't have to do all this backwards compatibility with, browsers that are not modern. So,
yeah, that throws it. But I guess doesn't support Safari. I guess that's the new IE, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. I don't think it's quite that bad, but it's on its own island.
No, I definitely, because like it has been, but I guess it's just us getting greedy as we go on, because I know plenty of places are like, fine, you don't have to develop for IE, and now we're like, what about Safari? We just want one more. Just take it away. There's not something less.
Right? Can we just all have Chrome?
Yeah.
Chrome engine of some sort.
Yeah, because even the little things with Firefox and Chrome will drive you wild when you're actually have to do proper cross compatibility things with complex things, animations and stuff. And
Yeah.
just
Firefox is
pull
great
your
too, though. I like using Firefox for certain things, especially like when you want to visualize like the developer tools in Firefox. If you want to visualize the grids and Flexbox and all that. Chrome has gotten some better tools lately on that, but Firefox has kind of been ahead of the game on that.
yeah, like they have. I've seen that like it's very easy to suggest things to the Chrome team now as well. A friend of mine suggested they wanted to copy elements that wasn't in Chrome till very recently. You couldn't copy the like snippets like from the elements. So he just put it into the GitHub as an issue. It's like, hey, can we get this? And like a week later, it was in it.
Wow.
So like,
Okay.
somebody was just like, oh, that's easy, yeah, done. And it was in the Chrome release. Like I wouldn't say any later than 2 weeks after, because he was frustrated in work. And he was like, I'm just going to ask the Chrome team for this. I hate going on to Firefox for this one thing. So he just put it into their GitHub and boom.
I found something. Okay, so in the past, if I wanted to get an entire screenshot of a website, it's a long website, and I want to get the whole screenshot, I would go into Firefox because they have that built in. You can just take a screenshot and you can choose just the window or the full website, right? And I recently found out that it is actually in Chrome as well.
Somebody said that to me because I always recommend the full page screenshot extension in Chrome. What is the command to do that? Because I didn't, although I was told it was possible, I never actually went. I was like, I have the extension, I'm fine.
Yeah. No, it's not as in your face as the one in Firefox because it's just right there. So you open up the developer tools and then you press Control-Shift-P to open up their command palette. And then you just search for screenshot. And it comes up. You can capture just an area, full size.
I'm going to share my screen for this.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Because this is an enlightening moment for me as well, because
I just found this out a week ago. So this is
pretty cool. Because it's something that everyone needs. I guess when you're showing work to people as well, it's very useful to have that kind of. All right, here we go. Screen to share this. So what? Command-Shift-P to get the command palette and screen.
There you go. Screenshot. So the thing that I thought was cool, so you can do the full size, which will do the whole thing. Node, it was interesting. If you just want to take a screenshot of just one element, you can do that. You have to select the node from within your elements tab there, and then it will take a screenshot of just that node.
So if I get the button.
And now just Control-Shift-P, screenshot node or screen capture node. Yep. And there you go. That should just be the button.
I just saved that there. Okay, it's open up. Wow, look at this. This is so cool. That's excellent. That is so cool.
Look at that. That's awesome. Yeah, so if you just want a
that's
section,
what my course is going to be.
There you go.
That's excellent.
And the other thing too is that it's higher definition than the one in Firefox. So if you do a full page, the Firefox one is very I think it's limited to like 750 wide, which is pretty small. Full page in Chrome is much bigger.
Wow, this is class. I am so happy with this now because I'm forever doing this for work because I deal with so many customers and things. I'm sending over like progress. Just if I don't have like a dev environment set up or whatever else, this is really cool because I was just using the extension. And
the extension was probably just doing the few button clicks for you.
Yeah, the future is now.
Yep.
I'm so easily amused as well. Clearly.
I'm the same way.
No, excellent. That's that is fantastic. What time is it? Geez, we're already coming up to nearly. I don't want to keep you too much longer, Jesse, as well, because you're still in your workday. You have to go get some lunch as well, don't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab some lunch and get back to work at Mongo. Yeah.
Excellent. Back to the Dream Factory.
Yeah. So going through onboarding again, like I said, so going through all that, but should be some content coming out soon.
When did
YouTube.
when did they let you off your leash? I guess that's the fun part.
I'm not on a leash, but yeah, working on stuff. It should be another couple of weeks before I'm done with onboarding.
Nice. And
Yeah.
will you be working? Will you be doing any like your education stuff, or is it just going to be kind of the YouTube side of things, or do you just not know yet where you could be?
Yeah, I think it's mostly going to be YouTube at first. It could be all over the place. It could be wherever they need me. Yeah, YouTube articles for sure. Possibly some speaking engagements. We'll see. Yeah,
Excellent.
probably
It'll be
some
great to
live
see it.
streams. They do live streams on Twitch and YouTube as well. So yeah, probably
Oh,
that too.
great. That'll be interesting to see as well. I'm sure you'll give them a lot more reach than they've had till now as well. They weren't fantastic at that side of things. Not to break anyone's balls that's watching this from Mongo, but it's good. You know, you have a professional doing it now. That's the point.
Okay. I'll do my best. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see
high
what we can do.
hopes.
Yeah.
He's going to change the business, double the revenue in the next year. That's what I say.
Oh boy.
Jesse, it was great having you. And on that note, everyone buy Mongo stocks. It's going up this year. I can feel it. To the moon. Diamond hand that.
There you go. There you go. And I appreciate you having me. I'd love to be on it again anytime.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm hoping next time you're on, we can do some meaty MongoDB content as well. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching.
All right, thanks.